You know what I found to be interesting? Um, Errol Spence says when it comes to boxing movies, his least favorite boxing movie is Rocky. He didn't specify which one. What is it? Between Rocky 1 through, what is it, like seven of them, six or seven of them. He didn't specify which one, but he just said to him, Rocky movies always seem to be so fake. And he also said, you know, you would never see him out there chasing around chickens. Now, what I found to be ironic about that is one of the main things about Rocky movies that made them great was the montage. And the montage was pretty much showing you how whatever was happening in Rocky's life, it distracted him from what he had to do right up until the very last minute. He would go on a montage and gear up and train up for this fight. And that was one of the most comical or unrealistic things about Rocky movies, but that's what made Rocky movies great. I think it kind of inspired people in a negative and in a positive way. It made people feel like no matter how far behind in life they were, that if they put forth that extra effort, they still had time to prepare and to get ready. You know what I'm saying? You just had to go extra hard and have like a montage mentality, which anybody that knows realistically, real life, that's not the way it works. That's why Errol Spence, what he said made sense as far as he felt like those movies were so fake because of the training, you know what I mean, the montage training. But ironically, to me, that's sort of what Errol Spence had, the predicament he was putting himself into, in his last couple of fights, you know, going up to, up to 186 to 190 pounds, and then taking his training camp to, you know, sweat off 40 pounds for the fight, where you're getting up, running miles in the daytime, running miles at night, training in the middle of the day, pretty much having on a sweatsuit all day long, dehydrating yourself down, going into a sauna, trying to sweat out those last few, ounces of water out your body, versus, pretty much staying at a target weight the whole year round, staying closer to the 160, 165, where you only have to shed off about 15 or 20 pounds to get ready for that fight. So I just found that to be very interesting, that his least favorite movie was Rocky, because of the unrealistic idea of the montage training and being prepared for a fight, with just that little lack of discipline, and then trying to hurry up and, get it all in the last minute. But realistically, what he's doing is like the montage version of real life boxing. So, I just thought that was unique, because it seemed like most people like the Rocky movies because the Rocky movies inspire you to go train hard. When you listen to the Eye of the Tiger, you know what I'm saying? When you watch him go through after in Apollo 4 with Ivan Drago, when he's going through his he's reminiscing about his time with Apollo, or even in Rocky 3 when him and Apollo's training for what was Mr. T's name? Clobber Lane. And Rocky couldn't get his mind right. He felt like he had been carried in his career and fighting tomato cans, and felt like Mickey was pretty much putting him in a position where he was winning fake fights. and he had to get over that mental lapse. And once he did, he went on this montage training. So that inspires people. The running scene, I remember when I was a kid, the running scene with him running through the park and running up the stairs with all the whole community and all the kids behind him, and that last kid was trying to keep up, and then he just left him in the dust, and then they surrounded him. That, to me, I would reenact that scene watching that movie. I would run. I would run in place watching that. So I just found it interesting. I mean, I know, and I do understand, like, when you're a real boxer, you watch a boxing movie, it's going to be some kind of a comical version of what you know to be reality. But when I'm talking about as far as the reality is, don't get caught up in the same things. Those movies provide a lot of do's and don'ts in real life situations and real life careers. Like Rocky 3, the main Rocky 3, matter of fact, the main Rocky 3 theme, to me, is perfect for Errol Spence to appreciate, because what Errol Spence said is, you know, even though he was quoting, you know what I'm saying, marvelous Marvin Hagler, he was saying it's hard to get out of silk sheets and go do road work and run, you know what I'm saying, whatever amount of miles. But that's where Rocky found himself in the beginning of part 3. He got spoiled. He got comfortable in his career. He had got the money and the fame, and he put his guards completely down. And he basically was sleeping in silk sheets. He was buying his wife expensive gifts, and he was living a different life from the gladiator mentality. That's what Rocky 3 was all about, was what marvelous Marvin Hagler was saying. It's hard to get up and do the work you need to do when you're sleeping in silk sheets. So, you know, I feel like that's a good learning lesson that you can watch in the movie, you know what I'm saying, and see it in a movie and not have to go through it in real life to the extreme that he went through it. Because him getting into that car accident, by his own admission, he was headed on a path of, you know what I'm saying, self-destruction. And this was a wake-up call, and it has given him a new meaning of life. But at the same time, that's the same thing that happened when Rocky lost his trainer and got defeated in the ring. Was the same thing. He had pretty much got too comfortable and got too laxed in life, and was kind of living in a reckless self-destruction manner as far as his career goes. So sometimes you can learn your life lessons from movies, even if they cheesy and corny, versus learning through real life situations that are a lot more serious and deadly with real life consequences. Just found that to be ironic. That's my nocturnal thoughts of the night, of the day. I appreciate y'all time, man. Y'all take it easy and stay safe. Peace.